It's late. I should be in bed. And yet it seems that is not an option. The voices, the shadows, they haunt me in a constant mockery, of which there is no reprieve. I am marked, chosen by forces now beyond my control. The faculties of my mind scream out in agony, desperately searching for something, anything that could exorcise these demons that have found me. But alas, there is nothing. No hope, no escape, no dream of finding solace once again. I should have listened. I should have listened when I had the chance. I should have let go of this cursed task when there still remained a door open to me. But alas, it is all for naught. I've fallen in the snare. And the spider soon comes to claim its prize. So it begins already. Her influence crawls over me, taking more and more as this nightmare monster claims my form. For now my faculties are mine, but at great struggle and difficulty. I don't have much time left before I am fully assailed, and so I must make this count. The people must know what has become of me. The circles of the sealing ritual are drawn. Every part is set. All I need is peace. For one last moment of clarity to set this monster behind a door. The beast will be gone. I suspect I shall go with it. It's too late to extract this foul monster from my fall, and so we must be trapped together, forever, in an eternity of hell and agony. To those listening, this will be my last act as mayor. I'm sorry I failed to protect you. I'm sorry I failed to keep the shadows, the disaster, my own impulsivity from causing harm. My selfishness was truly my downfall. But hopefully now it will all be atoned. Hopefully now all will be made better. Take care, and think not to the foolish woman who loved and lost. My downfall is my own, and hopefully, too, is my redemption. Oh, what is this? The welcoming committee arrives at last. Well, this should be fun. 20 little rabbits come to play. The fox enjoys a delicious day.
Marrow made a wife of Eve, but what did bones do for me? Bruised and battered till I resign, calloused tough by God's design. Brick and mortar built my bones, made a kingdom out of tragic tomes. And here I feel the darkness ravage, my ugly organs turning savage. I'm not blinded by metaphor, though insides I'm feeling sore. All my ribs are still my own. Dust is not the origin of bone. The dark doesn't frighten me. This is where I choose to be. Look inside and see it's fine. A shadow thrives, and it is mine. I close my eyes, and it is mine, it is mine, it is mine.
What? Oh, my head. Huh? What? Where am I? What's going on? Ugh, why am I tied down?
Shh. Don't freak out.
What? Wait, Marina? Is that you? Wait. No.
Figured it out already? You know, I was starting to wonder if you would ever notice. Better late than never, I suppose.
Ugh, no, Marie, this isn't right. Where's Marina? What did you do with her?
Finally asking the right questions. You know, it took you long enough to get here. It's a shame, really. Marina was so convinced you were coming to save her. She really held out for as long as she could. Hoping, waiting, fighting. And of course it didn't matter in the end. You never bothered to notice.
Cut the games, Marie. Where is she?
Oh, it's so cute to watch you beg. What's the matter, Blaney Pooh? Aren't I enough for you? Marina's right here. What more could you possibly want?
Cut it out with the games already. I know you're not her, and I know what you're trying to do, so can we just stop it already with all of this nonsense? Where's Marina? Just cut the performance, Marie.
Oh, cut the performance? Mask off? Is that what you really want? For me to stop my song and dance my pleasant smile? It's dangerous behind the mask, you know, Blaine. There's so much being held back. I could kill you in an instant, you know.
Sure, but I doubt you're going to.
And why do you say that?
Because you haven't killed me yet. And so that means you have something that you want to show. Come on, Marie, we know how this normally goes. So let's just skip to the end. Mask off. No performance this time. Go ahead. It's not like I'm going anywhere else, so might as well tell me what you want.
And that's why I like you as much as I do, Blaine. Very well. I guess we'll have this discussion. Mask off. Gods, as your kind would call them, are complicated things. Entities are born, created, to represent a concept, a purpose, a moment in understanding. This means that they are as fluid and shifting as the cultures and people that bring them into existence. Celine herself was born from moonlight and stardust, crafted to take the reins of dream right as humanity started to shift at the turn of the century. She was refined, gentle, lovely. Everybody just adored her. And why wouldn't they? She was the pure and glistening light to all who dreamed. Humanity loved her, revered her. But let's be real. She was only one side of the coin. You see, gods are complicated things. They embody so much of the concept they're assigned that one singular form isn't enough to encapsulate it all. Most have a dark side that they are quick to banish and hide away, especially when it's less agreeable to the people. It's true that Celine was a kind and gracious ruler of the dream, But tell me, where does that leave nightmares? And that, my dear Blaine, was where I come in. I was the shadow to Celine. She was the radiant sun. I was the moon. She was the bright and imagination of humanity. I was all the nasty pieces and things they did with that freedom and creativity. It's not fair, but it was how we existed. Imagine, if you would, what that does to a person. To have all the defects and flaws and disasters and problems of humanity thrown on you without warning, to just be assigned as a monster. How long do you think you could handle being treated like that? Celine locked me away the first chance she got. For the crime of existence, I was buried, erased, in every way she could manage. She treated me like a cancer and tried to reduce me, if not outright destroy me completely. I spent so much time locked away in the dark, forced to listen to all the cries of those who hated me. And for what? My only crime was existing. Tell me, Blaine, how long do you think you could handle that scorn? A few years? Decades? Eternity? How long do you have to be treated like a monster before you start questioning? Before you look in the mirror and just decide to let go? Give the people what they want. If anything, show them just how bad you can be. Oh, now come now, don't give me that look. You of all people should understand what scorn does to a person. I know you think I'm bad, but we're really not that different, Blaine. All nightmares start as dreams, and I never asked to be made into any of this. I never wanted to hurt people in the beginning, but here we are. I'm not a monster, Blaine. I'm only the hand she left me to play.
Wrath sings the goddess on its crowning morn as all the world looks on. The aria calls for the sake of lives ruined and faces lost. O ye who sit upon your perch, how mighty ye fall. Look now upon the pain and ruins of your hand. From fields of green have ye sown despair with careless glee. Now watch as the anger of souls long lost rise forth to reap their crop. The streets shall be made red and delightsome, the woe and suffering of all those who have dared to oppress. Look on in terror, know for the truth within your heart, for the devil is alive and real, but it lives not in the books of your Bibles, nor in the stories of your churches. For the devil is the shadow, created from the scorn and suffering caused by your own hands. The devil is what you make, and you have made me very, very angry.
The funny thing about gods is that they're not as infallible as they'd like you to believe. They embody concepts, after all, ideas, and those are rarely ever moral absolutes. Their very nature is to be flawed and fickle, and yet you'd be surprised just how often they forget about that. Celine did. Years of praise and adoration all went to her head, and in the end, it left her blind to just how corrupt she could be. Celine was a monster. She had become abusive, although you're already aware of just how far that went. Poor Dante. Sure, at one point he was the devil, but still, so much can happen over time. He was sweet, gentle, kind, so much more aware of his own flaws than she was of hers. He was earnestly trying to be a better man, and well, there's something almost admirable in that. Too bad Celine didn't stick with it. He didn't deserve what she did to him. No one deserves what he had to go through. And in that way, I'm truly glad he managed to get away from her. It left Celine devastated to see him go. She did everything she could think of to bring him back. Talking, searching, hunting. But he was gone. You see, that's the funny thing about being the Lord of Shadows. When you feel like disappearing, it's very hard for people to find you. At this point, if Celine had any sense, she would have recognized that he wanted to stay away and left it at that. Maybe do some work on herself. But no. How could she possibly be wrong? How could she possibly have caused any problems? She was the divine and beautiful lady of the dream. Of course it wasn't her fault. He was the devil after all. The poor soul was probably brought down by his ugly and terrible past. She had to do everything in her power as the holy and righteous being that she was to save him. And so she pressed, and so she got desperate, and so she turned to things that she really had no business dealing with. And that's when the cracks started to form. My chains were loosened a little, and whether she knew it or not at the time, she set me free. Now freedom is intoxicating, addicting, really. I was so exhilarated from the moment I was released. I was ready to run through all the land of reverie, all the dreams, turning every bright place upside down. Now, you might think I might be malicious in my desires, and maybe I am to an extent, but please understand, I'm not bad. It's just my nature. Creation demands destruction after all. Light demands darkness. Dreams are nothing without nightmares. So who am I to deny nature and to refuse the truth of what I am? When Celine finally crumbled, it was so delicious to watch. All of her flaws, all of her errors and sins were right there in front of her. She killed an innocent girl, condemned another boy to be lost forever in a dark and terrible void. She'd slaughtered and hurt and caused so much agony. Really, if you look at it, she was the monster, and I was just a convenient scapegoat. I could have left her there to wallow. I could have stepped up in my own light and radiance. But sadly, my time was cut short. You know what happened. 20 officers went in and put a stop to it. Celine screamed in agony, someone called the police, and next thing you know, 20 officers are right there at the doorstep to ensnare me in some vile trap. She set the whole thing up as if I was the demon haunting her, as if I was the root of all her problems, when really, I am just her other half, shadow under her feet. And if she wanted to see a real monster, she should have looked in a mirror. But oh well, thanks to her, I was bound to that horrible place. And then, of course, dear sweet Olivia, who was so very salty about losing her two best friends, had to make sure that we were trapped there forever, ensnared over and over, coming back again and again to make sure that the bonds were tightened and strengthened. Olivia always was the vigilant one, always so diligent. It's easy to see why Celine admired her the way she did. Thanks to Olivia, I was trapped forever. And thanks to her, all the traces of the truth and reality and anything that could possibly set me free were buried away and hidden for safekeeping. Recordings were buried, scrubbed. The mayor's house was locked away. Those seals were renewed over and over again. Archival documents were removed. And over I was being erased. Celine was being erased. Dante, all of it was gone. Truly, this was a travesty. Truth, balance, harmony, all of it was quickly dwindling away. We were all drowning in a bubble of delusion. I was worried. Was this going to be the thing that made me fade into nothing? After a decade of silence, it seemed that way. I had all but given up hope. Of course, not all was lost. You came along, my dear little Blaine. A sweet little nosy brat that just didn't know when enough was enough. Oh, now don't get so dramatic on me, Blaine. I meant that as a compliment. Really, what's the matter? Still upset with how things turned out? You should be happy, proud even of all your work. You uncovered the truth of the city, Blaine. Despite all the attempts and all the warnings, you won. And now we're here today all because of you. Oh, don't look too sad. What's the matter? The truth isn't quite what you wanted it to be? Oh, well, it hardly ever is, Blaine. But don't let it get you down too much. You're the hero in this story. Truly, I was so happy the day you first started to poke around. You were so curious, and you would spend so much time digging without a care or question, without any consideration for morality or safety. It made me excited. I was bound, but I used what little power I had to send you notes, clues, hints to the history that was so crudely stifled. One by one, you picked up the pieces like a trained puppy, and you didn't ever once consider where they came from or what purpose they could serve. You only followed and obeyed. So trusting, so ignorant. I knew you'd be perfect to pull around. You forced Olivia to run around in circles, trying to keep things organized. And then you uncovered everything with Bella Jewel, which gave me the perfect opportunity to strike and find my way back out into the city. And then, when I needed a disguise and a cover for a few months while my plans started to grow, all I had to do was toss you a bag full of useless information about Celine. I was worried that it wouldn't be enough. I was worried that you'd catch on, but no. A couple tape recordings from a previous reporter, and a few leftover notes, and you were so obsessively on it. At every single step of the way, you were so easy to move, and so easy to convince to do my dirty work. What's the matter? Don't believe me? Well, tell me, Blaine, how quickly did you take that Jeremy boy's offer? How quickly were you out of the way when the opportunity arose? You left Marina alone and vulnerable, Blaine. After all that time cultivating her special eyes, you left her alone out in the open for me to take. You were too distracted by the mysterious that you didn't even notice when we switched places. What's the matter, Blaine? I'm just saying what happened. Do you feel uncomfortable? Or is it just guilt? Marina thought very highly of you. She was convinced that you were going to figure out the truth and hack through the system and save her in some elaborate way. She held on to that until the last moment. She never gave up. She was so convinced that her dear best friend was coming. But you cared. But of course, you didn't really. We both know the truth. You never did. After all, the only thing that matters are the mysteries in front of you, right? That's all that ever mattered. You said that over and over with your actions. And that's why we're here today, Blaine. So turn that frown upside down. You're finally getting all the answers you wanted, right as the city's about to fall apart. My teeth are sharp and tongue is cruel, and this is all I give to you. Yet here you come, a love-struck fool, blind to pains that'll cut you through. You're drunk upon your stupid dreams of all the things you wish could be, while my jagged teeth rip you to seams. And yet somehow you cannot see. There's nothing here that you can do. I'm just the poison in your thoughts. My tongues and words will rip you through, left like ashes in a cigarette box. I know that you mean so well, but good intent will only fail. You know, it feels so good to just finally sit here and talk. To not have to put on an act or slide around as if I'm something else. And so I should thank you, Blaine. You've given me an opportunity to open up in a way that I haven't before. Not since the beginning.
So, what happens now? Are you going to, destroy the city, or...
Destroy? No, 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 Blaine. Well, yes, but also no. I'm simply here to return the balance that's been lost for too long. This world has existed too long as a delusional escape. For too long have you been painted with saccharine sweetness and fluffy little dreams. Well, the seams are already starting rip. It's time for somebody to tear things apart. For too long has this frailly little city been a place where dreams can come true. But tell me, Blaine, if dreams can come true, what does that say about nightmares? Oh, don't worry, Blaine. You've already suffered enough. And so I've decided, as a token of my favor, I'm going to kill you now.
Wait, what are you...
Shh. Try not to struggle. It makes this so much easier if you just hold still. There, there. Nice and easy. Nice.
What?
Blaine.
Wait, Marina? Marina, is that you? The real you? What? Where are you? What did you do? How? What's that light? What's going on?
Blaine, I don't have time to explain. You just got...
No, okay, I know I screwed up, and I know it's been bad, but we can figure this out. We just need to work together. Just tell me what's going on. Just tell me where you are. I can find you. I can fix this. I promise. We can get out of here. We can just...
Stop, Blaine. No. It's too late for that.
What? Marina, no, Marina. It can't be. We gotta figure this out. Just like we've always done. We just gotta figure this out together, please.
This isn't another stupid puzzle you can comb through, Blaine. Just stop. It's over. It's taking me whatever I have left just to do this. Celine's gone, the city's gone, and now it's getting dark, Blaine. I'm really tired, and I can't hold on much longer.
No, Marina, please, no, please.
I'm gonna do what I can to keep you safe, Blaine. Because I love you. You're my best friend.
No, Marina, no!
Goodbye, Blaine. I hope you make it out of this okay.
Dreamgirl City is a production by N.J. Schulze. It was written, produced, and acted by N.J. Schulze. The poems featured today were Ribs, Indignant Glory, and Tongues and Teeth, all written by N.J. Schulze. Have a question? Have a comment? Want to pat me on my little podcaster head for doing such a good job with the rewrites for Season 3? Email this and more to dreamgirlcityradio@gmail.com, or look us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Tumblr. We have a Tumblr. You should follow us on there and tell me that I am doing a good job and that you love my poems. I need the self-esteem boost, and I'll get it wherever I can. Thank you so much to our supporters and everyone who make this podcast possible. You guys are the real Dreamgirl City. We are currently going through this season because Season 4 and the latter half of that will make a lot more sense once I have this written the way that I want it to be written. So stay tuned. There's going to be improvements in the audio quality, the acting, and also so much of the writing, because I was writing and making all of this happen during a very chaotic time in my life. But thank you so much for sticking with us. I promise it's going to be worth your time. And until the next episode shines, just remember, the world keeps on turning, so you keep on yearning.